authorities here present, ladies and gentlemen, professors, students, good evening. It's with a great pleasure that you have here for the official launch of Mackenzie Center for Economic Freedom and the importance of economic freedom for the entrepreneur, action, productive action, and development will be held by Professor Benjamin Powell, and then a round table with the former minister, Antônio Cabreira, and Mansueto da Almeida, the economist. The role of Mackenzie for economic freedom is to contribute soundly to a debate on the market role and characteristics and consequences of different intervention and regulation. The objective are the real issues of the Brazilian economy and the blocks for the development. We would like to remind you, the students, that you have to sign the attendance sheet at the end of the round table, and we would like to greet people that are on Facebook, Mackenzie 1870, and live at this event. And now we would like to invite the Honorable Chancellor of University Mackenzie, the Reverend Dr. Davi Charlie Gomes, for the reflection moment. Good evening, welcome. My hug and my greetings, really dignifying and brotherly. But to all the people here present, the authorities here present that are acknowledged in this way, but we embrace you all and all of you students. Mackenzie as an institution is here to provide service, we believe, to our nation on behalf of another institution that is its associated, the Presbyterian Church of Brazil. And we understand that what we do, we fulfill a mission. We have excellent commitments, our relationship with God and serving God, and educational service. And in this sense, Mackenzie is coming forward. There is no condition to the religious aspect, the institution itself, the education that we provide. But we never hide the fact that the education is a fruit and a gift coming from this area. That's why we have always the chance to have a reflection moment, meditation moment, based on what is our foundation to work. And I'd like you to follow me. Tonight we have a special night. It's one of a kind to Mackenzie. It's a mark of a unique moment. And if I may, as a person, as a citizen, open my heart a little bit here. It is really special because this night happens here. Everybody has their breath in their heart, waiting the end of something that I'll call that is a long Babylonic captivity. And that's why I'd like to refer to that Babylonic captivity. And the greatest challenge there is, that's not when you leave captivity, but when you rebuild the walls in the city that was isolated. And I think about the words of a person that I admire since I was a kid, maybe the highest intellectual influence, my parents, and also mine as well, the thinker, the American thinker, Francis Andrew Schaeffer, reflected about our civilization in the Western world, and lots called the prophet, the evangelic guru on the second half of 20th century. Schaeffer died in 1984, and I really remember because I was young at university and I was literally on a train with my father going to meet him. He was at the end of his life. Schaeffer was really famous worldwide, developed his work in the city of Remon in Switzerland, in a cottage receiving thinkers like Souls and Nietzsche. When he leaves Gulag, she was going to spend time with Schaeffer to think about life and transcendental Faith Matters, Schaeff, few weeks before he died, shared a taxi with another friend of his, a little bit younger. Robert Charles Sproul. In the evangelic mean, you know, Sproul shared that taxi with Schaefer, sick already, and asked Dr. Schaefer, what is, in your opinion, the highest threat that we face in the end of the 20th century, the beginning of the 21st century? And Schaefer said that the greatest threat is statism. The role of showing if it is or not, it's up to our people that are going to talk about the economic freedom. They are going to work based on a society where people have the freedom to live from the fruit of their work, to exercise the benefits, to manage different sovereign spheres that contribute to the state formation. These spheres are sovereign and autarkic for actions. And I stop right here. Political and economic theory, they belong to my colleagues. And I hold myself here because I'd like to talk about things that I know. And I know the word of the Lord and the impact that it brings to our life. Neemias Danji. The Bible described, and he self-describes as he was a butler in the Babylon king. A butler does not make justice to his function. He was a butler in the broader sense. Not only the man that brings a glass, but the closer advisor in the king, and the king that ruled his own land, bringing the Jew to the Babylon. And in the meaning of this captivity, something really interesting happens. First chapter, Neemias. Nehemias tells the story. The year was Gisleu, 20th year. I was in the city of Susa, the capital of the kingdom, and he said, Hannah came, one of my brothers, with some people from Judah, and I asked him, what about the Jew that escaped? They were not going to the exile, and also Jerusalem city. And the first thing that I believe that is extremely important that you are going to find about the mission he receives, the curiosity, his curiosity. But let me go on. And he says, so my brothers told me, the ones that are not brought to the captivity, they are isolated. The city has its infrastructure damaged. The city is not being taken care of. The one who left behind were very poor. And the state is in a calamity. So they are in great misery and contempt. In the walls of Jerusalem are collapsed and its doors are burned. And I agree, I don't want a nation that is divided in walls, literal walls, not even metaphorical walls. But I would like to see a nation surrounded by walls that are not broken, not breached, walls on liberty, freedom, and high. Nehemias, when he listens to this report, he asks a report on intelligence. What he asked, maybe to some of you, is meaningful when we say something like this, was a briefing on intelligence. So that opportunity, he said, some of his people were in the homeland that belonged to them, that it was destroyed in captivity, said, I want an intelligence briefing. When he listens to the story, he has this reaction. When I hear these words, I sit down, I cried, and I regretted for a few days. And I was fasting and praying before the Lord in the heaven. And I'm not going to detail his prayer, but it's interesting. He asked for an intelligence briefing, and he let himself a brief period of mourning, the correct mourning period. And he prayed to the Lord. He said, Lord, that's so regretful that our Jerusalem has come into the state and this situation. Lord, this is so regretful. And he talked to the Lord. And he was there sitting and crying, mourning, fasting as well, to say that I do not think that is tolerable. We cannot bear a status that I saw my beautiful Jerusalem, the city of the peace, but he's not in this status. And the next thing that we read here, I'm going to skip some verse that in the meaning of his prayer, he says, Lord, do not forget that you promised that even if we were deep in the well, if we look to you with hope and seek for you, and we were willing to work, you would forgive us, would bring us up, and we are going together, even though we were in different corners of the earth. Because our happiness will be your glory. And he says this to the Lord in prayer. And then what happens? And it changed me. Nehemiah got the correct intelligence. He understood the right moment. But if he believed in this desolation state was a lost cause, he should have been quiet in Babylon. He had a high post there. But he was not convinced that is the total destruction. He was not convinced there is no way out. He talked to the Lord first, and then he finished his prayer saying, so now, Lord, I ask you that you make me successful in this dialogue that I have to the king. Yeah? And this is the game turner. This moment we know, we found out that Nehemiah was already planning his work, his action. At that moment, he had solved in his mind, in his own dialogue with the Lord, that he would roll up the sleeves and he would put himself to work. And from that moment on, the game would involve him. He was intelligent enough, qualified enough, the correct data, he had the right attitude. And then he finished his prayer by saying, I have already solved, I'm going to talk to the king. The emperor of all the civilization, at that moment of the history, I'm going to talk to him. And please, give me success when I dialogue with him. And in fact, the end of the story is really interesting. This is just the beginning. He talks, and surprisingly, he receives a letter from the emperor of the earth authorizing his return to Palestine to rebuild the city of Jerusalem. As a benefit to that man, the emperor authorized him, give him army, workers, he has great challenges. The story is beautiful. Nehemiah may be the Bible that brings the best profile of a successful leadership, the wisdom of Nehemiah in his work. But what is amazing in this work, when Lord look at his heart, Lord was in charge to being Cyrus and Darius. They were not part of that community, but they have become really important to rebuild the Israel walls. I understand this is an archetype for the hope, for the day after tomorrow that will bring into our hearts. No political change is causing the soul changes, not even in people, not even in a nation. But at some moments we see opportunities to say, the state of our walls, the status of our walls, of our buildings, of our infrastructure, they demand a new disposition from the Lord. Lord, I want to work to make things better. But we would translate into a willingness of an action, and the Lord is following this project. And Mackenzie, we understand that we represent the Presbyterian Church in Brazil associated with Mackenzie, that the launching of our Economic Freedom Center is exactly this. It's our step, our contribution. When we rebuild the safety walls in our nation, this contribution is from us, in the academy, and in the well-being of our nation. And maybe it would help us to find out that in the freedom, responsible freedom, we are able to develop and see the flourish, the nurturing, even the justice that comes from freedom, assuring freedom. God blesses us. Please follow me in a small prayer. Lord, I ask you that you see our nation and take care of Brazil, act in our nation to assure that the words are going to be kept, the agreements are going to be kept.
De que passamos a ter a
And now we have the
liberdade
freedom
para colher a recompensa dos
to
esforços.
pick the rewards
E
from
que isso
our
nunca seja
efforts. And
visto
this
como
is
ato
never
de
seen as a
egoísmo, mas que
selfish
na
act,
luta pelas
but in the
liberdades
struggle for the
econômicas
economic
haja em
freedom,
nossos corações
that
o
we have in our
entendimento de que
hearts the
existem
understanding that
as
there are
instâncias e as
the
esferas de soberania
instances and the
apropriadas
spheres for the
estabelecidas pelo
sovereignty
Senhor a partir da
established by the
família,
Lord from the
das
families,
associações
as
produtivas,
productive
das
associations,
instituições educacionais,
educational
das instituições
institutions, religious
religiosas.
institutions.
Existem diversos
There are
âmbitos de
different
esferas
spheres
que são
that are responsible
pela misericórdia,
by the mercy,
pelas artes,
by arts,
pelo cuidado uns dos
by
outros.
when we take care of each other.
Mas nos ensina a
But
lutar
please
por
teach us
Estado
to
que
struggle
cumpre
for a
aquela
state
função que, com
that
clareza
will
na tua
fulfill
própria palavra,
his role based on your own
é
word,
atribuída ao Estado.
is attributed to the state.
De punir
To
o mal,
punish the
recompensar o bem
wrongdoing,
e
reward
impedir o abuso
the good,
de uma
prevent the
pessoa,
abuse of a person on another
para
one,
que vivamos em
so we
paz e
can live
prosperidade.
peacefully and
Abençoa também
successfully.
nosso
Bless
palestrante
our
e o tempo que
speaker
teremos de
and the
debate.
time that we
Em
have
nome
for
de
this
Jesus.
debate. In the name of the Lord, amen.
Gostaríamos de agradecer a presença das autoridades do
Like to
Conselho
thank
Deliberativo
the
e da diretoria
presence
executiva
of
do
the
Instituto
officials, the
Presbiteriano
authorities here at
as autoridades
Mackenzie,
da
the
Universidade
steering
Presbiteriana
committee,
Mackenzie,
the authorities at
eclesiásticas,
Mackenzie, the
autoridades
ecclesiastical
dos poderes
authorities,
executivo,
the executive, legislative, and judiciary branches authorities, the authorities representing the federal committees, the regional committees, and also the institutes and the associations here present at this ceremony. And now I would like to invite the rector at Mackenzie, Professor Dr. Benedito Guimarães Aguiar Neto, for his greetings.
Boa noite a todos.
Good evening.
Nós queremos
We would like
saudar
to greet
a tantas autoridades
all the
aqui
authorities,
presentes
the officials here
neste
present
momento bastante
at this
significativo
moment that
para a
is
nossa
really meaningful
universidade,
to our
qual seja a
university
implantação
when we
do Centro
implement
Mackenzie
the Mackenzie
de
Center
Liberdade
for
Econômica.
Economic
Mas nós
Freedom.
gostaríamos,
We
em
would
especial,
like especially
saudar o
to
presidente
greet
do
the
Conselho
president
Deliberativo,
of the steering
a nossa
committee
mantenedora,
at our
José Inácio
foundation,
Ramos.
José
Obrigado pela
Inácio
sua
Ramos.
presença.
Thank you so much for your
Nós
presence.
queremos
We would
igualmente
like as
saudar
well to greet
o presidente da
the
diretoria
president
executiva
of the
do Instituto
executive
Presbiteriano
board at
Mackenzie,
Mackenzie Institute,
Maurício Melo Menezes.
Mauricio Melo
Muito obrigado
Menezes.
pela
Thank you so
presença.
much for your presence.
Queremos também
We would like also
saudar o
to
nosso
greet
Dr.
our
Reverendo
Dr. Reverend
Davi Charles Gomes,
Davi
que já nos
Charles
trouxe
Gomes, that has brought
uma
us
palavra bastante
words
oportuna,
really
palavra
meaningful,
devocional,
timely for
que
devotion,
caracteriza a nossa
characterizing
instituição
our
sempre que
institution
realizamos
whenever we
os
have
nossos eventos.
our events.
Queremos saudar a
We would
todas
like
as
to greet all the
autoridades
officials
acadêmicas
in the
aqui
academic
presentes e
world here
fazemos,
present.
em nome do
On
nosso
behalf
vice-reitor,
of our Vice Rector, Professor Dr. Marco Túlio de Castro Vasconcelos,
queremos saudar
we would like to greet
em especial o Dr.
specifically Dr. Antônio Cabreira Mano Filho,
conselheiro do Conselho
the
Deliberativo,
advisor
membro
of the
do
steering committee, a member of
Comitê de
the
Acompanhamento
committee
e
of
Implantação do
implementation
nosso
and follow-up of our center.
E sempre é bom
And it's
registrar.
always nice to say that the
Idealizador deste centro. Muito
idealizator
obrigado
of the center, thank
pela
you
sua
so much for
iniciativa
your initiative
e pelo apoio
and for the
demonstrado
support you have given
para
us.
que este centro
So
fosse
this
uma
center
realidade no
is
dia
a
de hoje.
reality today.
Ao professor Dr.
Professor
Adilson
Dr. Adilson Aderito, the Director of Social Science,
As nossas
Applied
cordiais saudações,
Science,
os nossos
our
parabéns
warm
pelo
congratulations
trabalho realizado de organização deste
for the
evento,
organization of this
desta
event
semana
this
exitosa
week that is so
que
successful,
reúne os nossos
gathering
cursos
our
do
courses in
e que culmina aqui
CCSA.
nesta noite
Here we
com a
highlight
instalação do Centro de
the
Liberdade
implementation of the
Econômica.
Economic Freedom Center.
saudar
We would like to greet
O economista
the economist Mansueto de Almeida. Also, he's here present with us. Thank you so much. He will bring his contributions here tonight.
E em especial,
And especially Professor Dr. Benjamin Powell.
Mais uma vez,
One more
obrigado
time, thank
pela
you
sua
so much
presença
for your presence
aqui
here
que veio da
He
Universidade
came
Texas
from
Tech,
the
uma
Texas
parceira
Tech.
da
He
Universidade
is a
Presbiteriana
partner of
com a
Mackenzie
qual
University.
nós desenvolvemos
We
já
have developed
parcerias
partnerships
e que agora
already,
traz
and now
contribuições
bringing contributions that are
neste
so
momento
meaningful at this moment,
extremamente
that is
importante
extremely
aqui na nossa
important
universidade.
at our
E todas as
university. So,
demais
and all the
autoridades
other officials or
presentes, já
authorities here
citadas
present,
pelo nosso
already
cerimonial,
mentioned by our
os nossos
ceremonial.
mais sinceros
So our
agradecimentos.
sincere, grateful
muita satisfação
acknowledgement. It's with a great satisfaction
E instalamos
that we
oficialmente
install
neste dia,
officially today,
nesta semana,
this
do
week
CCSA,
of
o
CCSA,
Centro Mackenzie de
Mackenzie
Liberdade
Center
Econômica.
for Economic Freedom.
Esta é uma iniciativa
This
pioneira
initiative is
em uma universidade
pioneering
brasileira.
at a Brazilian university.
Não existe nenhum
There is
centro
no other
similar
center
em
similar
qualquer outra universidade
at any
no
other
nosso
university in our
E
country.
este centro
And this
nasceu
center was
no âmbito
born
do Conselho Deliberativo
in
do
the
Instituto
steering committee
Presbiteriano
of
Mackenzie,
Mackenzie
por
Institute,
proposta já
with
comentada do
propositions
conselheiro
already
Antônio Cabreira,
comment by advisor
ao qual
Antonio
mais uma vez
Cabreira. And one more time, we thank him
a
so
ele
much.
e ao incentivo
And his
e o apoio
incentive
tem
and his
sido
support
recebido,
that he has been
tem
giving, the
recebido
university has
pelo
been
Conselho
receiving by
Deliberativo
the
do
steering
IPM,
committee, IPM,
também pela sua
also
diretoria
by the
executiva, que
executive
tornam
board
realidade
that
este
make
centro
this center coming
dia.
true today.
Agradecemos mais uma
We
vez a
thank one more
presença
time
do
the
professor
presence of Professor
da
Powell
Universidade
from the
Texas Tech,
Texas Tech University,
cujas contribuições estão
and whose
sendo
contributions
extremamente
are extremely
significativas
meaningful
nesses dias que
in
está
these days
conosco,
that
discutindo com toda a
he is
equipe
discussing with
do
us,
professor
with our
Aderito,
team
do
of Professor
CCSA,
Aderito in
para que este
CCSA,
centro
so
possa
this
ser
center might be
sucesso que nós
a
temos
success
certeza
that
que
we
ele
are
será.
sure it will be.
E de fato não poderia
And in
ser
fact,
oportuna
it's
a
really
instalação
timely, the
deste centro
deployment of
neste
this
dia,
center today.
em momento bastante
This
propício
moment
pela
is really
percepção
timely based
pela
on its
grande maioria dos setores
perception
organizados
on
da
the great
sociedade,
majority of
do
society
esgotamento
centers,
de
the
modelos
depletion
econômicos
of
calcados
economic
no
models
intervencionismo
based on
estatal.
state
O Centro de
interventionism.
Liberdade Econômica
The economic
objetivo é
center,
criar
the
ambiente
objective is to
acadêmico
create
de
an
pesquisa
academic
aplicada
environment
voltada
of
a
applied
questões de
research
incentivo
for
à livre
incentive to
iniciativa,
the free
a
initiative,
liberdade de empreender,
the freedom
transformar
of entrepreneur
ideias em
and
negócios,
transform
a partir do
ideas into
conhecimento
business
científico e
from scientific and technological
gerado na
knowledge
universidade,
generated
ou a partir
at
de
university
iniciativas
from
fora da
initiatives
universidade,
outside
de tal
university,
maneira que nós possamos
so we can really
contribuir desta forma
contribute
para o
this
desenvolvimento
way
social
for
e
the
econômico do
social and
nosso
economic
país.
development in our
Para
country.
tanto estarão
So,
sendo implantados
we are going to
a partir do
implement
próximo semestre
from next
dois
semester
programas
on
de mestrado
2
profissional
programs on master
suporte
degree to
acadêmico
support
para as
the
pesquisas a
academy
serem
on
desenvolvidas.
research to be developed,
Mestrado em administração
a
de
master in
desenvolvimento de
business
negócios e
development,
mestrado em
and
economia
a master
e
in
mercados.
economy and markets.
Além disso,
In addition to that, the recent
Observatório de
created
Finanças Aplicadas,
Finance
que já
Observatory
desenvolve
already
relevantes
developing
trabalhos
relevant work
voltados à criação de
for
indicadores
the
financeiros
creation of
e estudos de
financial
mercado
indicators and
financeiro
market
e de
studies
capitais,
and capital
também
studies as well.
peça importante do
Important
suporte
part
acadêmico
for the
para
academic
este centro.
support for this center.
Entretanto, o envolvimento
But
dos
the
nossos
involvement
alunos
of
de
our
graduação
students,
e a
our
vocês,
bachelor
nossos
students,
queridos
and you,
alunos,
our
eu
dear
dirijo
students,
neste momento
now
a palavra.
I address my words exactly to you.
criação
The creation
centro
of this
é
center is extremely
extremamente
important
importante para os nossos cursos de
to our
administração,
business
nossos cursos de
courses,
economia,
economy
o
courses,
nosso curso de ciências
our
contábeis.
accounting
E nós
courses.
queremos
And we would
anunciar
like
neste
to
momento
announce right now
A criação
the creation
da Liga de Estudos
of the League
em
for Studies
Liberdade
on
Econômica.
Economic Freedom.
Vocês, alunos,
You,
estão
students, you are
encorajados
encouraged
a participarem
to take part
desta nova
of this new
que
initiative
teremos
that we're
e é
having.
multidisciplinar.
It's a multidisciplinary one
Agregar
to
alunos não só
add
dos três
students
cursos
not only from these
hoje do
courses
CCSA,
on
mas alunos
CCSA,
de
but
outros
students
cursos
from
de toda
other
a nossa
courses
universidade.
here at
E
university.
desta forma, nós
And
queremos
like this, we
propiciar
would like to
o
foster whatever necessary
desenvolvimento do
for the
protagonismo
development of the
estudantil
leading role
e
of the
incentivo
students
ao
and incentive
empreendedorismo
to
a
entrepreneurship
partir da
from
graduação.
the bachelor course.
desenvolver pesquisas
developing
e trabalhos
research and
técnicos com
technical
ênfase na
work
liberdade
emphasizing
econômica
economic freedom.
são certamente
These
o
are
objetivo
certainly the
deste centro.
objective of the center.
Contudo, nosso maior
But
desafio
our greatest
é
challenge
formar
is
novas
to
lideranças
form new
acadêmicas
academic
e
leadership
empresariais
and
que
business
contribuam para o
leadership that might
desenvolvimento social
contribute to
e
the social and
econômico
economic
do nosso
development
país
in our
a
country
partir de uma nova
from
cultura de
a new
pensamento
culture
econômico.
on economic thinking.
Liberdade para empreender,
Freedom to
livre
entrepreneur,
mercado
free
e
market,
desenvolvimento
and
social
social and
e
economic development.
são conceitos que
These
não
are
podem
concepts
estar
that cannot be
dissociados. A
separated.
todos que nos brindam
So
com as
you
suas
all
presenças,
that are here
o nosso muito
present,
obrigado.
thank you so much.
Gostaríamos de convidar o excelentíssimo presidente Maurício Melo de Menezes, presidente do Instituto Presbiteriano Mackenzie, entidade mantenedora da Universidade Presbiteriana Mackenzie, para realizar sua saudação.
Excelentíssimo presidente do Conselho Deliberativo do Instituto Presbiteriano Mackenzie, presbítero José Inácio Ramos, e em seu nome cumprimento a todos os conselheiros, a todos membros também da Igreja Presbiteriana do Brasil aqui presente. E queremos também saudar a pessoa do magnífico reitor, doutor Benedito Aguiar também, e em seu nome saudamos toda a família acadêmica aqui presente, outras autoridades nominadas, nosso palestrante, Dr.
Dr. Benjamin Powell,
professor
Professor
economista Mansueto Almeida, saudamos a
we
todos
greet
os
to all the
economistas,
economists,
a todos esses
all
homens de
these
liberdade
freedom men,
econômica no Brasil.
economic freedom men
Uma
in
saudação
Brazil.
também especial
A
já
specific
dita
greeting already mentioned to
Dr. Antônio
Dr. Antônio Mano
nosso
Cabreira,
ministro
our minister,
e idealizador.
the person who
deste centro.
idealized this center,
Obrigado a
Thank you
Deus
so
por ter
much to the
colocado na sua mente
to put in his
essa
mind
atitude de vanguarda para o nosso país. E nós queremos dizer que quando recebemos o Dr. Antônio Cabreira para buscar um lugar para abrigar esse centro, levamos ele no lugar mais bonito
to
aqui
the
do nosso
most
campo,
beautiful place in our campus
mais que representa
that really
a nossa
represents
instituição,
our
que é o
institution,
edifício
that
João
is
Calvino.
João Calvino Building.
E lá,
And there,
nesse lugar, nós
at
vamos
this
ter
place, we're having
belo
a
local
beautiful
onde ficará
site
instalado esse
to
centro,
install this center,
esse primeiro
this
centro
first
da América
center in
Latina
Latin America
de liberdades econômicas. E
for
por que no João
economic freedom.
Calvino?
Why João Calvino?
João
The building,
Calvino
João Calvino
Foi um
was
advogado,
a lawyer,
humanista
a humanist,
e teólogo,
and a theologist.
que para quem
And for
estuda
those who
economia
study economy,
no século XVI
in
em
the
Genebra,
16th century in Geneva,
ele montou
he assembled
a Academia de Genebra, hoje
the Geneva
Universidade de
Academy,
Genebra,
the current Geneva
e
University,
incentivou a
and
Europa
motivate Europe
a liberdade
to
econômica.
economic freedom.
Entrou na história
He is part of history now,
fazendo este trabalho tão importante.
working
Como
this
também
important work. And also,
temos em João Calvino
we
o mesmo
have João
DNA que
Calvino,
houve
the
nos
same
nossos
DNA from our
precursores do Mackenzie.
first people in
Porque lá na
Mackenzie, because
Universidade
there
de
at the
Genebra,
University of Geneva,
igualmente no Mackenzie,
also in
aqui há
Mackenzie, here
145
145 years, almost 146 years ago, we started here at Mackenzie, similar to Geneva,
uma universidade de
a
liberdades,
university for
e
freedom,
aonde
where
recebia
we received all kinds of students,
cores,
colors.
aqui no Mackenzie,
And here at
quando o
Mackenzie,
imperador Dom Pedro
when the
II
Emperor
esteve aqui,
Dom
ficou
Pedro
interessado
II,
em
he was
saber
really
o que
interested to
acontecia
know
naquela
what
pequena
happened
cidade
in
aqui
that
de
small
São Paulo,
town,
na
São
época,
Paulo,
só
back
com
then,
30.000
30,000
habitantes.
inhabitants
Veio aqui no
only. He
Mackenzie
was here at Mackenzie,
e viu
and he
filhos de
saw
escravos estudando aqui
slaves,
conosco.
children
Essa
studying
instituição que
here at this
nasceu com
institution that
liberdade,
was
tem no seu
born in
DNA
freedom.
a
It has
liberdade.
in its
Isso
DNA
nos
the
alegra
freedom.
muito.
And this pleases us
imperador
very much. The
deu
Emperor
grito
screamed and he
de
shouted
alegria.
of joy.
Ele não poderia
He
oficialmente
could
ajudar
not
o
officially
Mackenzie.
help Mackenzie
As leis naquela
because
época
of
não
the
tinham
laws
tanta
back then
liberdade.
were not so free.
Mas ele fez questão
But
de
he
deixar
really
uma
wanted to
grande
leave a
contribuição
great
pessoal aqui
contribution,
na
a
nossa
personal
instituição.
contribution here at our
Instituição da
institution,
liberdade.
the institution of
Então essa
freedom.
noite é uma noite
So
ímpar.
tonight
Eu não
is a
quero falar
unique
sobre
night,
essa
and I do
noite.
not mean
Na
just
noite
tonight.
passada,
Last
nós
night,
tivemos o primeiro
we had the
debate.
first debate,
Eu quero trazer
and I would
aqui para
like to bring
vocês
here to
o que eu
you
peguei na internet
what I get
nessa
in the
manhã
internet this
do
morning
nosso,
for
do nosso
our
site, do nosso
website,
Facebook,
our
Mackenzie
Facebook,
1870,
Mackenzie
que
1870.
está sendo transmitido
It's
aqui
being
ao
transmitted
vivo.
here live.
Algumas palavras de
Some
alunos que
words
passaram
from
a
students
madrugada
that
e
spend all night long
mackenzistas
and Mackenzists
falando sobre o nosso
talking
centro.
about our center.
Eu vou só ler o primeiro
I'm going to
nome.
read the
Thomas
first name, Thomas.
disse que
Thomas
orgulho
says,
da
how
minha
proud I
faculdade,
am, my
liberdade
university,
econômica.
economic freedom.
Esse sim deve ser o
This
futuro
would
do
be
nosso
the
país.
future of a country.
O Rafael,
Rafael,
parabéns pela
congratulations on
iniciativa.
the
Já passou da hora
initiative.
do
It's
Brasil
about time
começar a
Brazil starts
discutir mais a
discussing
respeito da
more
liberdade
about
econômica.
economic
É
freedom.
o primeiro passo
This is
para
the first
deixarmos
step.
de
So we
admirar
leave
países de
behind
primeiro
countries,
mundo e
first
nos
world countries,
tornarmos
and
um.
we are a first world
Tem mais.
country. There is
Marcelo,
more. Marcelo.
é isso.
That's
Parabéns
it.
aos envolvidos,
Congratulations
menos
to all the
Max.
involved parties. Not Max.
O Renan,
Renan.
o Renan disse,
Renan said,
isto sim é uma grande
yes,
iniciativa,
this is a
uma
great
geração de
initiative. A
novos
generation of new
intelectuais se
intellectuals
forma
are
através da
formed
especialização no
through their
estudo. O que
specialization in
temos hoje
studies.
uma
What we have
doutrinação
today
massiva
is a
do
massive
marxismo,
doctrine of
formando uma
Marxism,
geração,
forming a
vou ter que
generation.
falar porque é
I have to
liberdade,
tell
de
it's freedom
todos e socialistas,
of
embora seja a mesma
socialists,
coisa.
even though they
Mas
are
queremos
the
dizer,
same, but
nós
he
temos
means that
liberdade
we
para
have
todo
freedom
pensamento
to
na nossa
all
instituição.
the kinds of thinking in our
Finalmente,
institution,
algo
and
que não
finally
seja
something
esquerdista
that
nessa
is not
faculdade. Também estão
left-wing
falando
in this
de nós.
university. Yes, they are talking
Então
about
essa é a
us.
liberdade.
So
O
this is the
Brasil
freedom.
clama por isso.
Brazil
Parabéns,
claims.
Mackenzie.
Thank
aqui
you,
vai,
congratulations, Mackenzie. And then we
Na
have
madrugada
many,
já tinha
all night long,
353 compartilhamentos.
353
E hoje
people
de manhã,
sharing, and
mais
this
de
morning more than
270
270
comentários.
comments.
Então nós estamos felizes.
So we are really pleased.
A instituição está
The
feliz. Os
institution
nossos
is
conselhos
pleased.
que aprovaram
Our
isso.
board approved
creio
this,
que
and I
nesse
believe
momento,
that at
conforme a
this
reflexão
moment,
do
according to the
nosso
reflection of
chanceler, e aqui eu
our
termino.
chancellor, and here I finish my
Creio que
greeting. I believe
Mackenzie,
that
a primeira
Mackenzie is the
universidade,
first university,
nós temos vários
and we
institutos,
have different
mas aqui é a
institutes,
primeira
but here is the
universidade
first
que
university
parte
that is
para
going to
essa liberdade,
this
já
freedom,
criando 2 cursos de
creating
estrito
two
senso.
courses,
Então,
strict
parabéns a
census.
todos,
So
parabéns,
congratulations,
reitor, com toda a sua
congratulations,
equipe,
rector,
parabéns,
your
conselho,
team, the
parabéns toda a
board,
comunidade
congratulations
que
to
está
the
aqui.
community
Eu
here
tenho
present. I
certeza
am
que
sure
daqui do
that from
Mackenzie vai
Mackenzie,
sair
we are going to see
gerações
generations coming
com a
out
mente arejada
with the mind
governar
full
esse
of
país
new
que
air
tanto
to rule this
precisa
country that really needs
de tanta coisa.
lots
Que
of
Deus
things.
abençoe
So the
Mackenzie,
Lord
que
blesses
Deus abençoe
Mackenzie,
esse
the Lord bless this center.
Convidamos o excelentíssimo
We
presidente do
invite the
Conselho Deliberativo do
Honorable
Instituto
President
Presbiteriano
of the
Mackenzie,
steering committee
presbítero
at
José Inácio
Mackenzie,
Ramos,
José
para
Inácio
realizar sua
Ramos,
saudação.
for his greeting words.
Boa noite a todos.
Good evening.
Todos são muito bem-vindos.
You are all welcome
As
here.
autoridades
The authorities
já nominadas,
already
mencionadas
named
desde o início dessa
since the
programação,
beginning of the
em
ceremony.
nome do
I would
Conselho
like, on behalf of the steering committee,
externar a nossa alegria e satisfação
to
em
say
recebê-los
how
nesta
joyful we
noite
are
de
to have.
elevado significado. Não quero repetir os cumprimentos já mencionados aqui, mas não poderia deixar de mencionar a professora Luciana e sua equipe do cerimonial e todos os colaboradores que prepararam esse ambiente
that
tão
prepare
festivo,
this beautiful and joyful ceremony, so pleasant for a date that is so meaningful. The steering committee at Mackenzie Institute, and I am the privilege and a great honor to preside since 2013 January for sure, is really good when accepted a suggestion from a commission that was created in 2014, 2015, this commission, specific commission for strategies, and then we saw from our dignifying Cabrera, the advisor, the proposition to create an Economic Freedom Center. The Excellence Commission on Strategic Planning took this to the board, the proposition for the creation of the Academic Excellence Center, and recently, in the beginning of this year, the steering committee, understanding the importance and the meaning of this topic to a university as big as Mackenzie, and with all the support of our magnificent rector, Dr. Benedito, expressed in the university board decision to create this Freedom Center, the steering committee this year instituted a strategic committee, and together with the university think and follow according to the prerogatives and the premises established by the steering committee for this Economic Freedom Center that we opened today. And I really need to acknowledge the effort and dedication of all the people in the committee, so we reach this today, and the committee understands that we are going to name 4 advisors that were successful in their working areas: Dr. Cabrera, Milton Flávio, Ednilton Campa, to lead the strategy of this Economic Freedom Center in the board close to our University Mackenzie, our magnificent rector, Dr. Benedito and Dr. Aderito. So really filled with joy and satisfaction, we are having really soon, in a few minutes, the opportunity to listen to the concrete thinking, the firm thinking, Christian thinking, reform of all the thinkers we are having here tonight. And when we talk about Christian and informed thinking, I need to say one more time about Calvin, one of the great reformers from the 16th century, was a leader, was a tutor, was a mentor of John Knox, the father of Presbyterianism. This church here represented in Brazil, and one of the jewels is Mackenzie. Already mentioned before on what we are doing for over 104 years. Calvin has a tripod: work, savings, and frugality. Calvin understands that the work would produce wealth, and this wealth would be manifesting savings that any country needs to have, and it's important that they have. So it will leverage progress and frugality for life, simple life, without ostentation, without wasting, living just with what is necessary for your survival. So Calvin externed this in his thoughts: working, savings, and frugality. And I conclude leaving you all this message from Paulo the Apostle in his letter to Ephesians 4:28, saying, "The one who steals, do not steal anymore. Work, doing with your hands what is good, so you can have to provide the person who needs. The fruit of our work should always be the next person that needs our help. So the fruit of our work must generate wealth. The fruit of our work generates savings that would leverage economies here and there. The fruit of our work must be provided to the person who needs. So God blesses us, and we enjoy the thinking of those people here present tonight, what they feel and what they think about the economic freedom.